In this video, I'm going to look at division involving decimals. So to begin with, we'll look at what to do when we get a remainder. And this is a follow-up from some examples we looked at in a previous video on division. And then we're going to be looking at dividing decimals by whole numbers. It is advisable to watch the previous video involving division because we are going to be drawing on that work in this video. So in a previous video, we had this example, 922 divided by 8. And it produced the answer 115 remainder 2. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to find out what this remainder is as a decimal. As a reminder, let's look at how we got to that answer. Now I'm going to use the short division method for this example, because for these types of questions I generally use the short division method. So I'm going to set out the question like so, and we're going to work our way through. 9 divided by 8. Well, 8 goes into 9 once, with a remainder of 1. So I'll write the 1 down. We've now got 12 divided by 8. Well, 8 goes into 12 one time, with a remainder of 4. And then we do 42 divided by 8, which is equal to 5 remainder 2, because 5 eighths are 40. So what do we do with this remainder 2? Quite simply, we need to think of 922 as 922.00000 and so on. It's just that we don't normally put the decimal point in and all these noughts that follow on afterwards. But we can do that. So let's extend 922 with the decimal point and a few noughts on the end. I'm now going to add our remainder to the first nought after the decimal point, and so we now have the calculation 20 divided by 8. 20 divided by 8 is equal to 2 because 2 eighths are 16, with a remainder of 4. We now add the 4 to our next 0, which is in the hundreds column. We now have 40 divided by 8, and of course 40 goes into 8 5 times. 922 divided by 8 is 115.25, and so our remainder of 2 was actually 0.25. Let's look at some other examples. We have 830 divided by 4. We'll set the calculation out as normal, and let's begin working our way through. To begin with, 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2 exactly. Now let's do 3 divided by 4. Well, 3 divided by 4 is equal to 0 with a remainder of 3. 3 is less than 4. We now have 30 divided by 4. Well, 4 goes into 37 times with a remainder of 2, because 7 4s are 28. So we now have to deal with this remainder. So let's add the decimal point and some noughts after the number 830. We're not affecting the size of 830. We can now add our remainder of 2 to the first nought after the decimal point, which is in the tenths column. We now have 20 divided by 4, and 4 goes into 20 5 times exactly. 830 divided by 4 is 207.5. And let's try 173 divided by 3. So we'll set it out as normal. We've got 1 divided by 3. 1 is smaller than 3, so I'm going to put a naught down. We're now going to do 17 divided by 3. Well, 3 goes into 17 5 times, because 5 3s are 15, and there's going to be a remainder of 2. 23 divided by 3 is equal to 7, because 7 3s are 21, with a remainder of 2. Now let's deal with this remainder. so I'm going to add the decimal point and some noughts after 173. I can now write my remainder of 2 down next to the nought in the tenths column. We now have 20 divided by 3. Well, 3 goes into 26 times because 6 3s are 18, and there's a remainder of 2. We put the remainder of 2 next to the nought in the hundredths column. 20 divided by 3 is equal to 6 because 6 3s are 18, with a remainder of 2. Well, 20 divided by 3 is equal to 6 because 6 3s are 18 with a remainder of 2. We appear to be stuck in a loop. We keep on getting a remainder of 2, so we get a calculation of 20 divided by 3, which is going to equal to 6, because 6 3s are 18, and then we get another remainder of 2. And this will continue on and on and on and on and on. So what we've done is we've created a recurring decimal. 173 divided by 3 is equal to 57.666666666. It will just carry on. And what we do with the recurring decimal is we just put a dot over the number that is recurring. So we have 57.6 with a dot over it because it's the 6 that is repeating itself over and over and over again. I'm going to now look at decimal numbers divided by whole numbers. I'm just going to look at 2 examples because this isn't really any different to what we've been doing before. It's just that we've now got a decimal number that we're dividing into. 73.8 divided by 6. We'll begin by setting out the question. 7 divided by 6 is 1 with a remainder of 1. 13 divided by 6 is equal to 2. 2 6s are 12, with a remainder of 1. So we just write the 1 next to the 8, which is in the tenths column. We now have 18 divided by 6, which is equal to 3. 73.8 divided by 6 is equal to 12.3. And finally, 165.2 divided by 7. We'll set the question out. 1 divided by 7. Well, 1 is smaller than 7, so I'm going to put a nought over the 1, and we're now going to do 16 divided by 7. And 16 goes into 7 2 times, because 2 7s are 14, with a remainder of 2. 25 divided by 7. 7 goes into 25 3 times, because 3 7s are 21, and we are left with a remainder of 4. Put the 4 next to the 2 in the tenths column. 42 divided by 7 is equal to 6. So 165.2 divided by 7 is 23.6. So that's a quick look at division involving decimals. And in the next video, I'm going to be using long division to solve problems where we are dividing by a 2-digit number. But I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.